Hello everyone and welcome back. It's Gina from orchidandopal.com. Today I have the November 2021 bargain bead box to open up with you guys. It's an awesome deal. It's only $17.95 a month, including the shipping. If you're in the US, they do ship to other locations as well with additional shipping charges. I do have a coupon code before we get into it. It is Opal2, and that will save you $2 off the first month of your subscription if you decide to sign up and try out a new one, which means it would make the first box only $15.95, and this one includes things like glass beads, gemstones, and findings, and it's amazing how much you can make from just one subscription. Every month the theme changes, the color palette changes, so you never know what's going to show up, but it's a great way to rotate through different types of palettes and different types of metal findings to bulk up your stash and work with new things. I am so excited to open this up. I have no idea what is in here. Let's see what our theme is for the month. All right, everything's included in here. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. And we can see from our paperwork here, the theme is called Harvest End. So we're going to see a cozy palette with sparkling crystals, earthy gemstones, and bright rose gold findings. On this paper, there's also a coupon code for 30% off their sister site, which is Beadbox Bargains. I just shared them a couple videos ago. They are a full online closeout bead and jewelry making store, which has amazing deals as well. And then when you combine it with that 30% off coupon that you get with the subscription, it makes for even better deals. They also have a monthly contest. If you make things from the monthly bargain bead box, you can submit a picture via email or Facebook, and they will randomly draw a winner to win some credit to their online store. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a little peek at our package. All right, so we have our yellow organza bag. I'm seeing some earthy tones and some harvest-like colors. We see some rose gold there. I'm going to go ahead and get organized, and we will go through each of these items one at a time. All right, starting out with bag number 1, we have some of these soft green colored glass beads. It says this is a 12-inch strand of 4mm gently faceted glass rounds in the color light peridot. So here is this strand. You can see that gentle faceting like it said in the name, especially if you move them under the light a little bit. It just gives us a bit of a different texture and glossiness than a basic round bead, and you certainly get a lot to work with on this 12-inch strand. Bag number 2 looks intriguing. It says these are 4 pieces of 28mm red pressed glass leaf drops in red ombre / gold shimmer. These are gorgeous. I love that ombre from the red to the very pale peachy salmon color. And then under the light, you can see that golden shimmer over the top and lots of movement and texture going on in these leaves. You can see both the front and the back have those veining details. The hole is right there at the top, and these open up a lot of different possibilities for things you could do with something like this. In bag number 3, we start out bringing some of our rose gold findings in, and these are 4 sets of 20 by 26 bamboo style toggle clasps. So you can see here, these are definitely a bright rose gold finding this month, which is different from past recent months where we've seen a lot of like antique brass and copper and silver. Like I said, every month they seem to change it up, which keeps things interesting. These have that minimalistic bamboo-like feel. I recently shared a video on 10 ways you can use toggle clasp besides just a basic clasp to help you think outside of the box as far as how you can use these in different ways. And with 4 of these, you could certainly do a lot with these besides just using them as a simple closure. And then in bag number 4, we have 4 pieces of 38mm Leafy branch drop / links. And I think a while back we got these in a different color tone. This time are, of course, in the matching rose gold. They have a kind of hammered-like texture to them, which is the same on the front and the back. You can see the loop that's right there, and you can also use that end loop if you wanted to use these as a simple connector. You could also use it as a pendant and hang this down from the bottom of a necklace. And with all the openings that these have, it gives you a lot of possibilities as far as incorporating them into different styles of beadwork or wire work. And they're a pretty substantial size, so they could be incorporated as their own focal. And then in bag number 5, we have some more rose gold. These are 4 pieces of 22 by 18 millimeter leaf cutout charms. And I've seen these in different colors as well. These are that very shiny coordinating rose gold. Again, we have that dappled texture, and there's that little leaf cutout there, which you can see is open. So you could even use this as some sort of a link if you wanted to, just because of the opening there on the opposite side of the loop, and they are the same on the front and the back. And then in bag number 6, we have a 14-inch strand of 4 by 3 millimeter crystal Rondell beads in frosted garnet shimmer. We have this deep cranberry-like reddish color with that sort of silvery frosted finish that's coating part of the bead, and these are a matte, very frosty looking glass bead as well, so bringing in some of our deep red into our harvest palette. And then we have some more beads here for number 7. This is 5 pieces of 10 millimeter crystal fancy barrel beads in pale topaz. These are very sparkly and shimmery. You can see why they're called a barrel bead with that cylindrical shape. They're faceted. They have the hole that runs through the length of the bead, and they have that kind of champagne light gold color. Next up, we have a bag of 10 pieces of 35 millimeter brass eye pins with heavy electroplating, it says, so they should keep their coating nice and intact, and you can see that loop there at the bottom, making for a great way to incorporate these into some earring findings or into some wire wrapped links, for example. And I don't have to open these up. We know what an eye pin looks like, and it's just handy to get some of these findings that are basic but coordinate with the metallic color palette for the month, especially if you don't already have some of these things on hand. It's a great subscription for newer beaders and more experienced beaders alike. And along that same thought, we have bag number 9. It's 1 meter of 4 by 3 millimeter steel oval jewelry chain, also in that rose gold. So we have a nice length of coordinating rose gold shiny oval chain, which gives us so many possibilities in itself. Here's a closer look at the chain. It's really a great size, one that I like to work with because the holes in these links are big enough where you could wire wrap onto them, for example, and it's not so dainty that you can't fit your wire through, but not too big and bold and chunky, which would be a lot more specific. So it's a really versatile size and shape. Next up in bag number 10, we have a strand containing 90 pieces of 4 millimeter crystal bicone beads in the color Wheat AB. That's a great name for these, Wheat AB. It is in that kind of light golden wheaten color, that light champagne, kind of like those barrel beads, and you can see that AB coating that is shimmering on top of the beads, very glossy and sparkly, and a lot there to work with this very versatile shape. Next up in bag number 11, we have some more findings. This time we have some daisy spacer beads. This is a bag of about 50 pieces. They are a small 4.5 millimeter diameter. And you can see that these are a very handy and basic type of finding as well, just kind of like our eye pins. So I don't really need to take these out. We can tell what they look like, and they will definitely come in handy. Bringing in more beads with bag number 12, we have a 10-piece strand of 12 by 8.5 millimeter matte textured red agate oval beads. And these definitely have sort of a rougher, more etched type of feel to them, which gives them a little bit of a stone type feel and appearance. That reddish orange kind of bridges the gap between some of the reddish tones and some of the brownish tones that we're going to see some more of coming up. And you can see how the hole runs through the length of the oval. So we still have 7 more bags to look at, which is such a great deal for a subscription box at this cost. It's always amazing how much they pack in here for the price every month. And from here on out, we're going to get into some of our gemstone strands. So next up in bag number 13, we have a 15-inch strand of 8mm natural tiger eye semi-round beads. There are a lot on this strand, so it's awesome to get some tiger eye. I think I can't recall the last time we had gotten this. I'm sure maybe over the past 3 years we have, but I know if at all, it's been a very long time. But it's so interesting to see the different play of light as you move these around, which is always a very interesting quality of the tiger eye. And you can see they've called these semi-round. They're mainly round. You wouldn't know they weren't completely symmetrical, but some may be just a little bit different. You can see those golden brown striations that also combine with the deeper, darker chocolatey brown to give us beads that are all a little bit different. And then in bag number 14, we have a 7.5-inch strand of 8x6mm crystal Rondell beads in lemon chiffon shimmer. So some more glass crystal beads. These are faceted, as you can see, classic Rondell shape, very shimmery, and just the lightest touch of yellow to these very transparent beads, giving us some more sparkle and light to go with some of our deeper tones of brown and red. Then next in bag number 15, we have 4 pieces of approximately 14 by 10mm natural tiger eye barrel beads. And these are a really interesting shape, something very different, goes along with the other tiger's eye that we had gotten in those semi-rounds. And also goes with those other barrel-shaped crystal beads, which could be an interesting combination since these are a very similar shape and size, and the hole there that runs through the length of these barrel beads. And then in bag number 16, we have 20 pieces of 5.5mm English cut crystal faceted round beads in the color Evergreen AB. That AB rainbow kind of electroplated coating is so beautiful over top of this deep, more olive green color. And you can see how these have that rougher English cut, giving us some extra texture and those different facets to reflect the light. Also nice to see the different shapes and sizes that the bargain bead box puts together for us every month. Not all the same size or the same round shape. You get some of these more interesting shapes to mix in with your pieces. Next up, bag number 17. This contains a 7.5-inch strand of 6mm natural chrysanthemum jasper round beads. Jasper is such an interesting type of stone. There's just all different colors and textures. You can see this coming in. These are a very natural looking stone with the almost two-tone sort of burnt orange, burnt umber, and chocolate brown, and they almost have a carved sort of appearance. They're not super glossy or anything, but not matte either, and they'll definitely go really well with our tiger eye. So next up in bag number 18, this is a substantial focal. It's an approximately 56mm handmade natural tiger eye and brass tree of life pendant. Very, very substantial and artistic piece indeed. This wire is in great shape, by the way. It just feels very sturdy even up here. It's going to hold its shape for sure. It doesn't feel like the stone is going anywhere. You get a lot of that interesting light play and the different tones of golden brown and deeper brown in the tiger eye stone. I'm sure these are going to be all a little bit different due to the fact that the stones are going to be a little different. They're a natural stone, and the fact that the wire wrapping is a handmade effect over the top of that. Usually in the bargain bead box, we see multiple focals. This one is so substantial, I can understand why this is kind of the main one that we're seeing this month. Of course, we have other possibilities in the form of these leaves that are in the metal rose gold color material and some of these glass beads, but this one definitely being kind of the star of this particular palette, and you can understand why. But that brings us to our very last bag, and that is number 19. This contains 20 pieces of 8 by 2 millimeter snowflake bead caps. And there's our little handful of these bead caps in that snowflake-like shape. Could also be a leafy or a floral-like shape, but coordinate with our color palette of our findings and will be a very useful item to have with some of these elements. So that is everything for the November 2021 bargain bead box. Don't forget you can use that coupon code OPAL2 to save $2 off your first month if you want to try them out. Such an amazing deal. I mean, it's just, I can't believe how much they put into this monthly subscription. Once again, 19 different items, including gemstone beads, and all glass and coordinating findings. I hope to be back soon to show you some of the finished pieces that I've made from this box. I have some finished pieces to show you from last month, so as soon as I can get the next finished jewelry update up, I will share those. I'll also leave the link to the subscription right down below the video, so that will take you right to it. I want to give you guys a huge thank you for being with me today. It's always so much more fun to unbox these with you. Feel free to leave a comment down below and hit that big thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to subscribe while you're here because I would love to have you back. I will see you all again real soon. In the meantime, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.